Guys, Summer League has been so much fun to watch. It's probably the most anticipated Summer League of the past decade, possibly even the past 20 years, because of Wemby and him coming out. Everyone was really excited. I actually saw a tweet that said the average ticket to go see a Spurs game last year was $59. The average ticket, I know, right? That's cheap. The average ticket to see Wemby in Summer League was $160, and they sold out. So it's very apparent that kid is going to become box office, and I'm excited. But there have been a lot of other players that have really made Summer League exciting. JD, do you want to talk about a couple, and then I'll drop a couple?
Oh, for sure. I'm going to go ahead and say that of all the rookies that have played this year, and probably the most stacked draft class that we've seen in a long time, I would say Keyonte George of the Utah Jazz is an absolute Summer League standout, and I'm going to go as far as to say he has been the best rookie so far of this draft class. Yeah. And, something to think about Keyonte. He had an injury in college, which is why he dropped out a little bit. But the guy is an absolute stud. I mean, he had a 33-10 game, and then the day, a couple days after, he had a 26, something like 7.
Yep, 26 and 7.
I'm gonna have a hot take here. I think that Keyonte George, if you look at the Summer League stats, Keyonte George has been an absolute monster. Barring his third game where he got injured after about 9 or 10 minutes of play. If you look at the Summer League players who are just, performing extremely well, and I mean, let's take a look at some of the stats, right? Just right here, the top guy, Jabari Smith, he has been, he's a second year. Number 2, Keyonte George, averaging 29.5 with 8.5 assists. Number 3, Orlando Robinson, top points per game, a second year, third year guy. Lester Quinones, second year guy. Tari Eason, second year guy. Jaden Hardy, second year guy. And these guys are notable. They have had some good seasons, some of these guys. I mean, Jabari Smith was in the all rookie. Jaden Hardy has been really good. We've got Jaden Springer, also a third year guy or second year guy. But none of these guys are rookies. Benedict Mathurin, Javon Freeman-Liberty, Brandon Williams, Ochai Agbaji, Hunter Hale. And then it goes to Chet Holmgren. So out of the top 15 performers in terms of points per game, there's only one rookie, and that is Keyonte George. And I'm not taking this with a grain of salt. I'm sick of people, and yes, maybe you should a little bit. Obviously, there are guys who come out, they don't perform as expected, but they're really good in the Summer League, or vice versa. We saw that with Trae Young, didn't have a very good performance in the Summer League, but is an all-star talent. But I think it shows a lot if you're able to dominate in the Summer League, and I think it transitions pretty well. I think it is more rare than not if you were a really good Summer League standout and you don't perform. I think Keyonte George, just based off of how he's done, I think he's been the best rookie and the most stacked draft class so far, and that is including Wembanyama, who's averaged, 18 points. He had a really good 27-point game. But Keyonte George has been playing the best out of all of them. Doesn't mean he's going to have the best career, but it means he's going to have a darn good career. What do you think, Doc?
I think that it's difficult to take stock in Summer League because Summer League is normally a jumble of guys trying to make a roster, rookies who have never played a real NBA game before. I think there is some merit to guys who just absolutely blow it out of the water. I mean, you can look back, not as a guarantee indication for greatness, but Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant, all of these guys had incredible Summer League runs. I also want to bring up the fact that JD was talking about KG3's stats before he got injured. So if you guys check right now, they have him, I think, at 21 points per game and 7 assists. But you have to take into effect that he only played 6 minutes of that game before he injured his right ankle. Before that, he was putting up those numbers, 29 and a half, 8.5 assists.
And
Like,
Doc, real
very
fast, if
efficient.
you look at all-time historic summer league, there's a guy named like Marcus Banks who's the number one. He only played one game, got like 40 points, then was shut down or injured. I don't know if he's had the greatest career, but you can look at other guys too who have just completely dominated. I mean, Donovan Mitchell was up there. Donovan Mitchell had 28 points in his two-game debut in the Vegas League. Cam Thomas, another notable guy. This is historic. Damian Lillard was up there, 26.5, 8.5, or 5.3 assists. Tyrese Maxey, you got Lou Williams, you got Kawhi Leonard. These guys are all insane talents. I think Cam Thomas is going to become something special. And then Keyonte George, before his injury in that game, was number 2 on all-time lists. I think it's something to really look into.
You know, I love KG3, and everyone who's been listening to this podcast knows that we have been high on Keyonte George since he was wearing number 1 for Baylor. We thought that this kid had what it took to be special, and the fact that not just him, but other guys are doing very well from this draft class proves that this was the saturated, talented draft class that we said it was. Wemby, even though he had a pretty bad first game, he had a great bounce back game with 27, 12, and 3. Over the course of those 2 games, even though the Spurs decided to shut him down, which I think is a mistake, he put up 18 points per game, 10 rebounds, and averaged 4 blocks in those 2 games. That is amazing. I think Wemby's going to be just fine. Also, Mr. Leonard as well, right? Leonard Miller, a guy that we have always really liked. He's doing just fine as well. He's putting up 18 points per game. Brandon Miller looks like he's getting his feet under him. Nick Smith Jr., the only other rookie this year to average over 30 points with Keyonte George. He's putting up 16 points right now. There are a lot of guys that are going to come out and impress that are just NBA ready. Summer League has been so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. I really want to give my flowers, though, to Jabari Smith Jr. So I know Summer League is really more for the rookies, you know, but I like the fact that a lot of second-year guys have been playing as well. It's good to get the reps in. But Jabari Smith Jr. doesn't even look like the same player that he was last year. Number 3 with Houston, you always hope that when you're taking a guy that high, if he's not going to be a perennial all-star, you're at least hoping he's going to be a high caliber, you know, starter who makes the all-star team a couple times. But this kid has been on fire, averaging 35 points per game. And really the most impressive performance, in my opinion, was when he played against James Wiseman and the Pistons and just shut him down. He was talking smack. He was talking a little bit of trash. He had a 38-point game, which is insane, like 8 rebounds. I think he had 6 assists, just filling up the stat sheet and just jawing off at James Wiseman. That is why I love basketball. It's one of the reasons I enjoy Summer League. I want to see these guys get competitive. That's what makes it fun. So the fact that Jabari Smith Jr. has been coming out and playing with a chip on his shoulder, I love that. You know, he did not have a very successful rookie season, and I was worried about him because I've always liked Jabari Smith, and I was like, dang, like I thought that this kid was going to be a lot better than he was. I started thinking maybe it's the system, maybe it's just a fractured rookie locker room, but whatever he has done in the off season to prepare for Summer League, he looks incredible. I cannot wait to watch Jabari Smith Jr. Next year. Oh my gosh, he's going to be awesome.
He is going to be a lot of fun. And I think with these 2-year guys who are coming in their sophomore or have multiple years, you expect a little bit more out of them than the rookies. I mean, they have a year or a little bit more of the NBA season under their belt. They're a little bit stronger. They understand how the game is played. And so, you know, somebody like Jabari, though, who's really exploding in the Summer League, I think it could very well translate. I don't think he's going to be, you know, averaging 30 plus points per game, but I think it at least shows that he can be competitive and that he can be a decent player moving forward. But I really think that, you know, of these Summer League standouts, like I mentioned, it is a little bit to be expected with these 2-year guys, 3-year guys to be performing. But people like Chet Holmgren, who I think, he is in his second year, but he didn't get a chance to play. I think Chet is going to be something special. I think that, he is considered a rookie this year, and if he plays exceptional, he could be rookie of the year. I mean, he's my favorite for rookie of the year. He's just been dominating both in the Salt Lake City Summer League as well as the Las Vegas Summer League. I believe he's averaging around 20 points per game, playing great defense, and I think he's somebody to really watch. Somebody else that's really notable in my eyes is Scoot Henderson, who looked absolutely dominant in his performance. Unfortunately, he got injured pretty quickly, which is very unfortunate. It's very interesting to note as well that, a little bit ago when Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson were playing against each other, people were maybe contemplating saying, hey, maybe we should take Scoot over Wembanyama. We know Wembanyama's a talent, but Scoot might have the longevity. He's a small guy. He's bursty athlete. He might not get or be injury prone. You take this with a grain of salt, but it's interesting to note that, in those games that they played with the G League Ignite and the Metropolitans a few months back, Scoot got injured in game 2, and now we're seeing in the Summer League he gets injured again. So
yeah,
I'm just going to say it almost seems like Wembanyama, you assume that from Wembanyama, but you're seeing it out of the guy you didn't think you would see it out of.
It's weird because you would assume that Scoot would be the more durable player. But it's almost like he's so athletic and so explosive that like his body can't even handle it, because he just has like this superhuman athleticism. And I agree, when he was on the court in like the 15 minutes he played, he put up like 15, 6 and 5. He looked incredible.
He looks like he has it.
He looked like he was unstoppable. It was insane. And Ausar Thompson, actually, until he got hurt as well, he looked great as well. Both of them were just killing it.
Ausar Thompson too.
Yes. Ausar is getting his legs under him.
Different game, but
all these kids are looking really good.
Thank you for watching another episode of the Full Court Press NBA podcast. For the full podcast, click the link below and subscribe for more hoops content.